As a bartender and an event coordinator at a local brewery, I have the unique opportunity of interacting with people day in and day out and can confidently tell you one thing from my experiences thus far. Just when you think you've seen it all, you haven't. Let us flash to Sunday, August 9th. I arrived promptly at 11 a.m. with my mask on and a chocolate peanut butter cup milkshake in hand, ready to open the bar at noon. As the doors opened and crowds of people began to shuffle in, I noticed that a family was approaching my section of the bar, so as I always do, I grabbed a menu and made my way over to greet them. I kindly introduced myself to the husband, the wife, the son, and the daughter, and as I set the menu at the center of the table, I noticed that the husband was wearing my favorite pair of shoes, the Zebra Yeezys. As a sneaker fanatic, my immediate instinct was to compliment the shoes and ask where he got them. After just minutes of conversation, he and I began to hit it off as we spoke of his collection at home, what he did for a living, and where he was from. As the conversation continued, we connected unexpectedly after discovering that our mothers battled the same form of cancer, multiple myeloma. At this moment, he looked at me and asked what size shoe I was, to which I replied, an 11. He then looked at me and smiled. In the midst of the moment, this hint and bit of information flew over my head, but I definitely urge you to keep it in mind. As the family's time at the brewery continued, I noticed that the time was ticking away as minutes turned into hours and their tab racked up to almost $300 by nightfall. You see, this may not have been an issue for a family of 4, but the children were far too young to be at the bar past dinner time or let alone drink, so it was becoming a real problem. I didn't realize the severity of the situation until one of the bouncers approached me to notify me that the wife was standing up without her mask on and given her final warning to sit back down. This quickly complicated things because I was now stuck between a rock and a hard place. On one hand, I genuinely liked the family and had really enjoyed our time together, but on the other, I was being told by my colleagues that if I didn't settle the matter, that they would be asked to leave. As I glanced over one last time to ensure that the wife was sitting down, I noticed that she was gone and that the husband was now waving me in his direction. When I arrived, he explained that she was in the bathroom, and he then randomly asked me to take my shoes off. My immediate reaction was to deny the request simply because I knew the price tag of his shoes along with the overall intentions that he had. Nonetheless, he took them off, handed them to me, and assured me that he had more at home in his collection. Now, what good is a story without a twist? As I bent down in shock to take in what had just taken place and lace up my new favorite shoes that I didn't even anticipate to receive based on the way that the night had already unfolded, I shot my head up as I heard the bouncer shouting in our direction. The man's wife had now returned from the bar, but she was approaching an unruly state of mind and dancing directly in front of the band without her mask on. I saw the bouncer moving toward us, and before I knew it, he and the husband were exchanging words. In a matter of seconds, the situation escalated, and as the bouncer told the man to control his wife, which he didn't exactly take lightly. He began to raise his arm in an apparent attempt to swing at the bouncer, but as he did, the bouncer tackled him flat to the ground. I stood by in utter disbelief, all while wearing the shoes, which you can imagine was extremely awkward as they were escorted out of the bar. The next morning, I woke to a direct message on Facebook from the man who thanked me for my service and apologized for his actions, which was very kind. What is the moral of the story, you might ask? Sometimes what you desire most in life comes when you least expect it.